Hi, everybody. Bipolar astrophotographer here. I thought I would get on and do kind of a short video. I really haven't done much lately. Just kind of I still don't feel like I'm 100% well. It's hard for me to have the willpower to like get on here for sometimes when I just haven't felt like it. And there's been some things like with just, the bipolar journey, and I haven't really talked about mental health or living with bipolar on here for a while because we've been busy with the domes and shooting space, and that's been really fun and a learning experience in a lot of ways. And so it's all good things, but I've had some things just kind of in my head where I feel like, I need to get back on here and have some of those discussions a little bit too. So one of the things is, I know that with me, if I get too involved with one particular thing, like it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a craft project or I'm getting paid to do a job, or now I'm feeling a little bit like YouTube. Like if I get too, it's like I feel obligated to do something. Like I feel like I have to do something and then I don't want to do it anymore. And so and part of the reason why I started this YouTube channel, just to be frank, in all honesty, was because I knew, because I know me, and I knew that this was going to be a little bit of a problem for me with this. But there's a part of me that was also like, I want to try to push through it. And with YouTube, I've got all the time in the world to do that. I don't have to do it today or tomorrow. I can push through kind of this personal limit that I feel like I have, because I think I do, in part, it's kind of a protection thing. Like part of the reason that like I struggle with whether it's a crafting project or I'm getting paid to do a job, those kinds of things, is I become completely obsessed about what I'm doing and I don't do anything else. And then I feel like that's an unhealthy way to live. Like the balance is way, way off, So I'm kind of struggling with like how much YouTube to do and how much break to have. And I think that this has been pretty good to kind of think about it and weigh that out a little bit. Because I don't want to give this up. I don't want to give up. I don't want to be a quitter with this. I quit a lot of things that I've done in my life or that I've tried to do. And I do attribute it a lot to bipolar disorder, and not maybe in the way you would think, but in a way to like protect myself from becoming completely consumed by something. Because I feel like extremes are very precarious and dangerous ways of thinking without mental illness. And so I can't afford to go there with mental illness. That's just the bottom line. I can't do it. And I don't want to. It's not healthy. It's very one-sided. I don't like extremes. I just don't like extremes. I like to try to keep myself as well in the middle as I can. And that's why this is so good for me, is because I can just do this when I want, how I want. But yeah, I've been kind of just dealing with some things here. But I wanted to get on and just kind of talk about that struggle that I'm having right now with like where's the finding the balance. Don't be I don't want to be on YouTube every day. I don't want to do that. Some of the creators that I watch do that, and good for them. Bravo for them. They've got a huge following, and a lot of them they're in a movement or a cause. That's great for them. But I don't want, first of all, I don't want to be that big of a channel, because then I probably wouldn't post at all. Because, it's just like too much. Talk about extremes. I don't need that extreme in my life. But I did want to get on here and at least kind of show a few of the pictures that we got recently, because I haven't gotten a chance to do that. And I was trying to think of a good way to do it. And then I decided I'm just going to share my screen and show you what we got, and then just go from there. But I want to start first, and this is going to be shaky because I'm on my table, but I want to start first with the inchworm. So the inchworm was one I didn't get on here and talk about when I was going to shoot the inchworm. It just kind of happened. I had opened the dome and I wanted to, try something. This was all my gear, not the new big stuff. This is all my stuff in the smaller, the dome with the smaller gear. But I wanted to go for something a little different. And I had looked in the sky at the stellarium on my planetarium at this one spot that looked like really like rich in hydrogen alpha and nebulosity, but it didn't actually have a name. And I looked everywhere online. If you guys can find a name for the nebula or the nebulosity around the inchworm cluster, tell me what it is, and I will I'll make it right. I'll put the designation that goes with it in my post, because I could not find a name for this nebulosity, and it just kind of floored me because I didn't expect it. So I'm going to minimize me here a little bit, and I'm going to apologize for the sloppiness of my desktop. I have got to clean this up, but with all the editing that I've been doing lately and the processing, it's just kind of a mess right now, but I'll get it better. I'll get it better. So this one I actually put my copyright on, I believe. Yeah. So this is the inchworm cluster. Oh, that's without the stars. I wanted to show it to you with the stars first. Here we go. This is with the stars. So you can see, look at all of this beautiful structure here. Move myself a little bit further. I'll just put myself over here. Look at this beautiful structure all up in here. One thing I was drawn to up here, it looks like a hook, or this, I don't know what that look. It's almost like cloud gazing. There's all this beautiful structure. I couldn't find a name for it. So, but yeah, in here this is the inchworm cluster. Like this little tiny area, but look at all this beautiful dark nebulosity around here and all the color. So yeah, if you figure out a name for it, let me know. I was very pleasantly surprised with this. I will definitely be adding data to this area because this is just gorgeous, and I would love to see it even in more detail. But that was what I accidentally brought up first, was here's the starless image, and I like it. I think I still like it better with the stars, of course, but this almost looks like marble to me. Like this could be like a texture for a painting. It's just so beautiful. I just loved this. So I wanted to share these with you, and I'll zoom in a little bit on some of my favorite parts so you can see what I'm talking about. Look at this down here, and then that hook area up here. It's just so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. I loved shooting this. But yes, I do got to say, with the stars, it gives it, I think, some more depth and dimension. And yeah, it's just a gorgeous, gorgeous target. So there was that. And then, okay, so then there was let me fix this for a second. One of these days I'll figure out a way to do this faster so I'm not having to pull at the corners. But so then I went for the Wizard Nebula, and you saw me kind of set up for that, and I framed it to where the Wizard was in the very far left corner, and I was going to try to capture this other like faint nebula, and like it would have fit in my frame. And I know around the Wizard, if you get a lot of data, you can bring out some more of the dark nebulosity and color regions within it as well, but I just didn't have that much time on it. I think I'd have to look at my data again, but it was only like 4 hours, so it wasn't very long. So I actually didn't really love the picture that I got, but when I was processing it, I decided I'm going to pull the stars out of it and crop it super, super tight. And this is what I came up with. This is the best I've got so far. It's really not that bad considering how much I had to crop it, because my telescope is it's a 568 millimeter with the reducer on it. So this is, it looks pretty good cropped in. Obviously, it would look a little bit better. It would look a lot better with more data and that wider view that I was talking about. So I plan down the line definitely adding data to it and seeing what I can do with it. But at least here I was able to see the structure and some of the color, and it wasn't a bust. I've gotten to a place with astrophotography where it's like if I don't get a beautiful picture on the first night out of the gate, I'm not happy about it. I'm kind of disappointed or discouraged. But my husband, he reminds me of what we're doing here and how hard it is to do and capture. And so I shouldn't be discouraged. And this is the benefit of having the domes, is I can add data to it kind of here and there and whenever. So I need to, that, I want to jump ahead. I want to always have the most beautiful picture, like bam. And it's not always going to happen. And then there's the pleasant surprises, like the inchworm cluster, where it was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even see this coming. I've never heard of this before. So it's an interesting journey, and I need to, what is the word? I guess not really a word, it's more of a method. I need to practice the art of enjoying it step by step instead of wanting to just arrive at the finish line. It's a process. All of this is a process. It's like living with bipolar disorder. I just have to kind of take it one day at a time. All right, so there was that. And then the last one I wanted to show you. So I did end up going for the, I'm looking here real quick. Crop 2. I think this might have been the one. Yeah, so this was the question mark. I'm not sure if that's the one that I went for or not. Hold on a second. I put it, I think it was this one, actually. No, let me look at my phone. Wait a minute. Oh, I don't have my phone. Oh, it's right here. Because I always put my favorites, like where I'm at or whatever, I always put them on my phone. Let me see which one. God, I'm so confused with how messy my desktop is. I'm telling you, I've really got to clean it up. And I will. Don't worry, I'll clean it up. So this was, I don't know, I kind of like the one that's on my screen right now. Which one is this? I think I have this one on my phone. I should. Yeah, it's okay. The colors on my phone don't look as good as they do on my monitor. I've always had a hard time getting my monitor and my phone screen very similar, like, what is it called? Calibrated. I've really always had a hard time with that. So this one is, I'm looking for it. Is it not on my desktop? Well, that's weird. Huh. I think it's really close to this. I think it's really close to this one, which was the first one I pulled up. If anything, it might be just a slider, ever so slider crop. But this was the question mark. And remember, in my frame, I can only capture like a part of it. This would have to be one that if I want to get the whole thing, I'm going to have to start embracing the idea of doing a mosaic. So this is what I got so far with the question mark. And this, I think, was only 5.5 hours. This makes me feel this is very promising, because just in that short amount of time, I was able to pick up some wonderful details. Obviously, in the center here, there's some beautiful details in the center, but you look even off into the side here, there's some dark structures happening down here in the bottom, up here in the top right. There's some really beautiful, and I don't know what this is. I don't know if it's a galaxy. To me, it almost looks like it could be, or it could be another nebula even further behind or closer up and smaller. It's so hard to know. It's so vast. It's just so vast. But yeah, this is what I got for the question mark. So it's a good starting point on all three of these targets. The wizard, I was a little bit more discouraged about than the other two, but part of it is just my framing. It's what I have to work with. And so I just have to make the best of what I have to work with, especially until we get my husband's stuff really working like flawlessly. And then I can just choose what I want to shoot with. Even if he's out of town, it can be or if he's not feeling up to, I can open up whatever I want. And it won't be so much a matter of my gear and his gear. It'll be our gear. And that's going to be kind of fun. I'm looking forward to that. So I just wanted to share my progress with you guys, because I never really got back on here and showed everything. But I'm very, very encouraged. My favorite, I think I would have to say my favorite was the inchworm. I'll show it one more time, because I just loved how the inchworm turned out. Oh, I'm full screen here. I just loved how the inchworm, it was just such a surprise to me. I just loved how it turned out. Oh, that's the starless one, so that's not the one I want to show. But this is mine. I just absolutely, you know what? Let's just set that as my, it's going to maybe make it look more chaotic, but I just set it as my desktop background so I can look at it all the time now. And I should move my, I call them my whips, my work in progresses here. So, yep, so now I can see the cluster in the middle, but, oh, I love that. I may have to print that. Well, I got to add more data to it first, though, because I think it would just, it already turned out stunning. I just feel like it would just be even more improved. So, all right, well, there you have it. Well, I'm so glad you guys joined me this afternoon for a short little catch up and visit. And I really do appreciate all the encouragement that you all give me when I do a video. You know, if you say things like great content, or I loved this, or, you know, even the advice you give, you know, can you do higher resolution? And then when I do it and I come back your feedback of, oh, that's much better, I can actually see it, thank you so much, I appreciate, like, that makes me want to keep doing this. So any encouragement that you can offer my way will inspire me to keep at this. But yeah, this has been an interesting journey, and I knew this. I absolutely had this idea when I started this page that this is going to be something that I am going to have to fight with myself to continue to do. Because I give up. I give up. I really do give up. And I think that's one thing that I don't want to cry, but I do think it's one thing that the deep space imaging, like just thinking about it makes me want to tear up. It keeps me wanting to do it. Like, it's so beautiful, and it's just so humbling and such a privilege to be able to do this. It makes me want to keep doing it. And I feel the same about YouTube, but my history is not proven that I'm very good at that. Like, I struggle to keep going and keep doing. And so I want to figure it out. I really, really want to figure it out. And it's not for the likes and the subscribers. It's for the sharing. It's for the sharing and to put some beauty out there in such an ugly world. And it's a passion of mine. It's like a passion project of mine to do that and to incorporate the mental illness, living with bipolar aspect into it. So I really want to keep at this. So anyways, well, I've got to take off. I've got a doctor's appointment here in about 20 minutes, so I got to go. But thank you for joining me on this one. And, you know, we're coming out of new moon stuff, so it may be a little bit. But we'll see. You know, you never know what's to come. Space is vast, and you never know what we're going to shoot or when. So, okay, well, I'm going to take off, but clear skies to all of you. Thank you so much for watching until the very end. And self-care is not selfish. Bye now.